Up next, we've got Danny Mark coming on. Yeah. So please give a warm welcome to Danny Mark.
How are we all doing? Let's get this out of the way. Right. Thank you all for coming tonight. I know a Star Wars film's come out, someone's told me. Not a big fan. But I was reading something about Star Wars. Something came out and it was on the internet and it said, Star Wars superfan kills girlfriend after she comes home from work drunk and knocks over his merchandise. I thought, how shocking. Star Wars fan with a girlfriend. Oh no, right, okay, so I was flying back from Holland a couple of months ago, and let me tell you this, I don't like flying. I think if we were meant to fly, we'd all be walking around here tonight with a set of wings on our back, but we don't, do we? The bit that gets me is when you're in the plane, you're chudding around and they get to the end of the runway and the engine's kicking and I think that's it, I'm definitely gonna die, right? I get up in the air, looking at the flight attendants, thinking, do they look worried? Is this going down? Do I need to worry? They don't look worried. Then we hit turbulence. I've never hit turbulence before, I didn't know what it was. Someone told me it's when a pilot loses control of the plane completely. Fuck that. The first time I experienced turbulence was the first and last time I will not be packing spare underwear on my carry-on luggage. Then you get off the plane and you think, cool, thank God I'm fucking so grateful to be alive. And they come up to you and you get that do-gooder, don't you? That goes, well, what are you worried about? Statistically, it's the safest form of transport. Fuck off. Fuck off. You don't see any Malaysian rings going missing around the old lazy river at Disneyland, do you? That's all I'm saying. But pilots get a lot of stick, but I could never be a pilot, I'm too immature, right? You get that little tannoy, you give me that tannoy, and I'm gonna be like, this is your captain speaking, and this is your captain shouting. But no. I'm gonna move on to porn, right? Porn's a strange old thing, it's a bit of a taboo subject. Just gonna do it. No link between flying and porn, right? But porn nowadays, they've taken it a step further. Now you get this VR porn, which for you guys that don't know, the ladies in the room, it's, you pop this little headset on, you fiddle with a few buttons, you press play, and bam, it puts you in the room and there's someone having sex on the sofa next to you. Now I don't like being in the room when someone's kissing. I don't want to be there when they're shagging. I want to know how realistic it is. Am I going to look around and see the whole set? Is it going to be a little sound man with a little mic? Or a director just giving me the eye unnecessarily? But yeah, I hate unnecessary. I mean, true story, the other week I lost a boner when I was having sex with my missus because I made eye contact with my cat. I don't like eye contact. It don't work, right? Then you get the Japanese, don't you? The Japanese, they take this a step further, they take the VR porn and they think, what are we going to do with this? I'll tell you what, we'll make a VR girlfriend. A robot that you can screw, basically, right? And I think they should make it a bit more realistic. They should make it so that, I don't know, this robot gets headache 3 times a week. Doesn't put out unless you don't take the garbage out, you know, something like that. If you want to take a risk, what you should do is you should house share. Now, when I was at uni, yeah, I know, I went to uni, believe it or not. But I did, and I missed out on hall, so I house shared with 4 strangers. I'd had a particularly hard study one night, and I came back, no cars in the driveway. That's a good sign. Go inside, all the lights are off, great sign, no one's home. I think, you know what, I'm going to have some personal time, all right? I'm not going to go into details, I'm not going to be sordid. But getting that house to yourself was as rare as rock and roll shit, right? I get up the stairs and I think, well, if no one's home, probably don't need them headphones. I treat myself to a little bit of sound. And it was a treat. But while no one's there, I thought I'm going to really exploit this situation, so I'm not going to be crude, but I'm having a great time, you know. I'm having a wonderful time. And I'm getting to the end, all right? The train is about to leave the station. All right, so imagine a scene, and that's, you know, get to the end, I'm getting there, and that's when I hear it, just as it's happening, from my next room. Sorry? Turns out my housemate had been in the whole time. I ran out as quick as I could. Should have put some pants on first. What I did wonder though was how it took him so long to cough. Like I say, 15 to 20 minutes, I'd gone through my whole catalogue. I'd got progressively worse. Could he have coughed and saved me a little bit of my dignity early on? But yeah. Are we a competitive bunch, you say? Competitive bunch? I'm not really. But I have got that one friend. We've all got that one friend, haven't we? There's a bit of a wanker. There's the one you like to beat at everything. And I've got that friend. Now, let me tell you, I used to play Xbox a lot. Used to play it an awful lot. I had to stop because I kept getting tired of hearing how many 13-year-olds I slept with my mother. But before I stopped, I used to be pretty handy with an Xbox controller, and we were playing FIFA this one time. My brother, being a tattooist at the time, said, "Tell you what, you like putting bets on. Why don't the loser get a tattoo that the other one's picked?" Now, a tattoo isn't just for Christmas. But I couldn't resist putting a cock on this guy's back. So I was like, yeah, sign me straight up, right? Anyway, 12 minutes later, I've been beaten, right? Now, I'm not going to go through the details of it, but now I've now got a little tiny Chewbacca figurine tattooed on my ass because of that day. I'm not going to... True story.
Get it out! Get it out!
I'm not going to get it out. I will do a meet and greet. I'll do a meet and greet after the show. There'll be a third party present at all times. I'm not going to be the next Harvey Weinstein, don't you worry. But I've got this Chewbacca on my ass. Now let me tell you this, I'm guessing you're not as well versed as I am on arse tattoos. You forget they're there. Now let me tell you this, I can't see that. I definitely can't see that, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. So, let's fast forward 5 years, long time frame, but I first get with my missus, right? We've been going on a few dates. And after really making me work for it, I mean really making me work for it, I did get her back to mine. And again, I'm not going to go into details. A gentleman doesn't have furious sex until. But 39 seconds later, and the deed is done. Right?
True story.
All right, mate. But I don't know how experienced you are as lovers. I could take a guess a few words. But it's thirsty work. Thirsty old work, that, trust me. So I'm laying back, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to get a drink. So I jump out of bed, pull my trousers up, and as I do, I look round. And I catch my missus just staring at my ass. She's going like this. She's looked like she's just taken a peek at my browser history. That's what she looks like. Now, obviously, what had happened is she'd seen Chewbacca for the first time. Bless him. Like I say, you forget they're there, so I didn't know what it was. What I thought had happened was I'd bent over, and do you know when you wipe your bum, that little bit of tissue stays there? So I just ran out of the room. But me and Mrs. We recently had a little kid, but the whole way through the pregnancy we were really struggling because you get this kid and you've got to give this kid a name. And you think, oh fucking hell, that's a decision. How am I going to pick something to, you know, how am I going to give this creature a name for the rest of its life? I did try Sheila, wasn't allowed. But then there was like a sign from above a couple of days before. I was reading on the internet and there was this bloke. He was real into Apple. You know, Apple. If you're older, they make iPods. If you're younger, they make iPhones. You know, that company. But he really liked this. Really liked them. And he had a son and he called him iPad. I thought, what a great idea. What a great idea to name something you love so much after something you love so much. Anyway, a few days later, Mrs. went into labour. 17 hours later, and my first daughter, Rolo McFlurry, was born. So, she's here. Now, little story about this labour. Now, my missus, like I say, she was in labour for 17 hours, and fuck me, she likes to tell people that part. Or she'd make a song and dance of it. Honestly, she sounds like she's been kicked in the bollocks. Right? Oh no, sorry. Right. But she's in the 7th. So let me tell you, before this all happened, we've been up that hospital 4 times that week with her going, Danny, this is definitely it. Is it? Get the hospital, the brown owl or whatever her name is, gives her the once over. Says, nah, it's Braxton Hicks, go home. You're alright. So this fifth time, 2:30 in the morning, she says, Danny, it's happening. I think, oh, wonderful. Always happens in the middle of the night, doesn't it? And so I whip out of bed and pull these shorts on. As I pull them up, I think, cool, they're a bit tight. Doesn't matter. When they could be there an hour, they're going to send us home. Put on a t-shirt, no coat. Get up the hospital, like I say, the brown owl has her little examination. She turns to me, she says, Danny, it's happening, she's coming. I think, fucking hell. And the whole way up the hospital, I've been going, for fuck's sake, this is the 5th time this week. If this is a false alarm, I've been given it 2 barrels. You've never seen a smuggled woman in labour than when she said it's coming. But like I've mentioned, it was 17 hours, right? So my monster-in-law came. I was there a couple of hours later. And she was there. And I thought, you know what, she's there. I'm going to treat myself to 40 winks. I'm going to get my head down. It's tiring work, this labour lark. Now, in the maternity ward, the little chair they give the man, I swear it's a punishment. It's like they do it on purpose. Doesn't recline, you don't get a blanket. If you ask for a blanket, they look at you like you've just shat in their bathtub. Right? They're like, no, you can't have a blanket. You've put her in this mess in the first place. So I'm laying on this chair, my little shorts, my tight shorts, remember? Cool. I'm laying back. I'm laying back like this, right? Really undignified, because you can't get dignified sleep like that, right? Nod off, no problem. I can get to sleep in a hurricane, it's no problem at all. I wake up 2 hours later, and I hear voices, so I keep my eyes closed, trying to work out what's happening. I hear a lot of voices. An awful lot of voices. And what had happened was my doctor, my missus's doctor at the time, had come in and he'd had a little fresh batch of interns. So there's 12 of them, 2 doctors, a lot of people. Look at this is how a baby happens. All the midwives and brown owls running around, doing various measurements. And of course my mother-in-law, who doesn't like me much to begin with because I've put her daughter in this mess to start with. And that's when I realised, after doing that, who here is familiar with the term morning glory? In these little tight shorts. Most embarrassing moment of my life. That is the end of my first set. Thank you very much for coming. I'll see you soon.